right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. Holy crap, Batman! That's my first reaction to the brand new song by Pinnacle Point. First of all, if you're a Kansas fan, all right, and you like old school Kansas, the Steve Walsh era of Kansas. Again, Steve Walsh is in my top 10. He's been in my top 10. He's never gotten out of my top 10 for vocalists of all time. It was a sad day when he decided to retire, because even though his voice had changed as he had aged, he was still hitting the same notes that he had been hitting for like 40 plus years in the business. And one of the great concerts I've ever been to was in 1986, seeing Kansas on the Power Tour and watching Steve Walsh do keyboard handstands. Just incredible, very athletic, and just an amazing vocalist. Speaking of amazing vocalists, this is what we call a segue. Jerome Mazza, who I've talked about time and again, because he is that good of a singer. He is right up there. In fact, on Steve Walsh's last solo record, what they did was they allowed Steve Walsh to sing a couple of verses and then have Jerome Mazza sing a couple of lines in the song, and they would go back and forth. And I believe Mazza actually got to sing first on this track called Born in Fire. And it's a scorching song, a real rocker, old school. If we had American radio with any guts whatsoever, in other words, if they decided, hey, we're going to start playing good music again, you could put on a Kansas tune and then you could put on Born in Fire. Well, now you can add this brand new track called Weight of the World. This will be the second Pinnacle Point album. It will be released via Escape Music, coming on July 17th of 2020. It is now available for pre-order right here. If you go up to YouTube and take a look at this video, the video is fantastic. This song will blow you away. This lyrical content as well, the lyrics of this track are truly timely. As we all kind of navigate through our problems with this pandemic. The band here is Jerome Mazza on lead vocals and the brilliant Torben Enevoldsen on guitar. If you haven't heard Torben play guitar, check out his album 5.1. It is phenomenal. And Torben worked on the first Pinnacle Point album, which again is phenomenal. Also some excellent musicians backing up Jerome Mazza, but the real star of this show is Mazza. I mean, the music is executed perfectly, and the material here on this track called Weight of the World is, again, really set to a high standard. Everything, the production, the writing, the singing, the visuals here on this video, I really enjoyed this. This was a professionally done first single for this upcoming record. Again, the details on the record, it's called Symphony of the Mind. It comes out July 17th. I'm going to be talking this up big time, and it deserves it. Jerome Mazza, he is a huge talent, and more people in the United States and all around the world need to get acquainted with the work of Jerome Mazza, because he is just... Look, I'm not saying he's exactly like Steve Walsh, but he is the closest thing to Steve Walsh, the old school Steve Walsh that hit all of those incredibly hard notes. Jerome Mazza is right there. Again, a great example, and you have to be careful when you listen to it, because you're going to not know when Jerome is singing and when Steve Walsh is singing. It's very clever. It's a track called Born in Fire. and you can look that up. That is from Jerome and Steve, actually Steve Walsh's last solo album called Black Butterfly. Just absolutely amazing. So in any event, I'm pretty pumped up about this. It's interesting that this comes out kind of almost at the same time the new Kansas album comes out, and I did like the last song that Kansas released. I talked about it here, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think this particular track is better than the 2 tracks that Kansas has released thus far. Now, again, music is subjective. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just a huge fan of Jerome Mazza. And if you don't have the first Pinnacle Point album, please go out and get it. It's called Winds of Change. I believe it's available through Paris Records still. It was one of their top sellers on that label. And this new album is courtesy of Escape Music, and it deserves at least a couple, maybe 3 or 4 holy crap Batmans. So there you have it. Brand new music from Pinnacle Point, Jerome Mazza. It's Weight of the World, and it's awesome. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Hit the bell for notifications, and don't forget about Patreon. I've been blessed to have a lot of patrons come on over there and support during this pandemic, which has helped a lot since I am the breadwinner currently in the family. Hopefully my wife will be going back to work maybe next month, but in the meantime, you know, we're stretching the mac and cheese out, and the ramen noodles, or ramen noodles as some people say. All right, folks, see you soon.